Okay, here's the deal. You think Narcissus is a bad guy. You think Narcissus is a really bad guy. He's this guy who fell in love with himself. But what you don't know is that Narcissus is a victim. In the original story written by Ovid, somewhere around 0 AD, you got this Roman poet. There were some other versions of the story, but his is the most famous. And the story is called Echo and Narcissus. And Echo is this wood nymph. I think something like that. And she gets cursed so that she can only repeat what someone else says. So actually the concept of the echo comes from her. She eventually becomes that at the end of the story. Just this, nothing but this repetition of sounds from other people. But she falls in love with Narcissus. But she's actually not really the villain of the story. The villain of the story is actually some unnamed male character who falls in love with Narcissus, who curses the gods. Or no, he doesn't curse the gods. He calls upon the gods to have divine vengeance against him and summons the goddess Nemesis. So, the goddess Nemesis, she comes down and she curses Narcissus. The crime that Narcissus committed that made them want to curse him was that Narcissus is essentially a single man. Narcissus does not want to marry anybody. He doesn't want to have romantic relationships with anybody because he finds all of them unsatisfactory for whatever reason. He's just not interested enough to enter into a romantic, physical relationship with any of them. You could say that he's celibate. He's a very beautiful man. You could even compare him perhaps to, Jesus Christ, who was a celibate man, who was very attractive according to conventional depictions. But Narcissus, because these other people felt entitled to his body, they thought that they had the right to romantic affection from him. These people actually thought they were entitled to him. They thought they were entitled to his body, and because he refused to give any of them the romantic affection they desired, they cursed him to fall in love with something in such a way that he would never be satisfied. And so Narcissus gazes at himself in the pool, falls in love with himself, because the goddess Nemesis forces him to fall in love with himself. And there, he cannot move from that spot. He doesn't even realize at first that it's a reflection of himself. But eventually he does, and he realizes that his love is unobtainable and suffers that ultimate pain. And therefore all the people who fell in love with Narcissus, both male and female, are vindicated somehow, or they get their vengeance against him because they cursed him to die in this way, using divine powers. Narcissus is a victim. And narcissistic personality disorder, which is named after it. You people, you say he lacks any sense of empathy? Oh, right. If you don't allow anybody to have your body who wants it, then you lack empathy, right? That's what we're supposed to believe here. Oh, you don't have any empathy because you won't have romantic relationships with anybody who wants it. You have countless people, and in theory, you can only really marry one of them, right? Maybe a handful, but they all want you, so you lack empathy for everybody who you won't sleep with. I'm sorry, what is this? This is a monstrous way of thinking, to think that you are entitled to people's romantic affection. It is a terrible way to think. The people who can't understand Narcissus are the people who have a lack of empathy. They can't comprehend his way of thinking. And there's this very common tactic nowadays to dismiss other people's, just to dehumanize other people by claiming that this person lacks empathy. Therefore, you can dehumanize them and you can hate them and you can ostracize them and you can punish them and you can wish that they are put to death or that they are imprisoned forever or whatever. Because you have diagnosed, because you have entered their mind and decided, oh, well, that person has no empathy. How do you know? Personally, I think everyone has empathy. I think even terrible people have empathy. I definitely think sociopaths have empathy because those people manage to go up the ranks of the corporate ladder and the political ladder and become major public celebrities and everything. The only way you can navigate human existence is by being able to empathize with other people, to get into their minds, to understand them. That's how you socialize in this world. If you don't do that, you become homeless and a vagrant. You become someone like Diogenes or someone like Jesus Christ. Someone like that. That's who you become if you have no empathy. But whatever. This whole dark triad thing, accusing people of not having empathy. I say that everyone who accuses someone else of not having empathy is themselves displaying their own lack of empathy towards that person. So yes, have some empathy for Narcissus and stop using him as an example of all the evil in the world. I don't believe any of you are as selfless as you claim anyway, or lacking in vanity. And if you do lack in vanity, maybe it's because you don't take care of yourself very much.